Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Happy Winning Wednesday. Oh my god. Hold on, y'all. Fix my camera. Boom! But hey y'all, how is everybody feeling? What's been going on? Do a little check-in with y'all. It's been 2 weeks. Hey Mayel. Let me check my YouTube on my phone because it be coming in slow. Hey Raquel. Hey Jada. Hey Sane. How everybody feeling? What's been going on? I'm trying to figure out if I really want to put my glasses back on. Yeah, I'm gonna be on here for an hour. Woo. Where everybody at? It's only 4 people on here. Today's gonna be a good session. We supposed to have a guest today. We have an announcement and we have a guest. So I'm excited for how today is gonna go. Ooh, ooh. Okay, so let's get into that real quick because I only got 4 minutes with y'all before I let my guest on. So Mayel said she's been stressed with all this schoolwork. Yo, I don't know when I'm gonna do this session. I'm gonna try to make it as soon as possible, but like, only thing with these glasses be the glare. Like, anyway, making a session on working smarter, not harder. Like, sometimes I feel like we be stressing out over things we don't need to necessarily stress about. Like, everybody be reading the same material. Like, sometimes y'all can split the readings. Do little different things to make stuff a little bit easier. Saints at college taking her out right now. Going back to the systems that you create and how you do stuff. Like, are you a procrastinator? Or what things are getting in the way of you being successful in school? And not saying that it's your fault because college is stressful, but it also is about how you carry that stress. Like, what are you doing to get yourself out of that? And are you using your resources? Like, are you going to the writing center? Are you going to office hours? Because once you use all them resources, you be good. Figuring out what works for you, because everything that works for me not gonna work for you too. Thank you, y'all. Hold up. So y'all already know how I be with the thrift store. I got my shirt from the thrift store. It was $6.24. I got it the last time that I went to the thrift store, and I mainly got shirts. So yeah, Jada said she been having a good day. That's good. Hey Jimmy, happy Winning Wednesday. Hey Asada. Hey Dawn. Hey Anthony. Hey Dorian. Yep. I think my shirt cute. Somebody told me earlier, like, my shirt was cute. Like, I was like, oh my god, my shirt, like, this one. But yeah, hey Roman. But yeah, yo, I gotta go to the thrift store again before next weekend. Well, not next weekend, next week. Yo, my birthday, and I got a minute before I have one of my guests come on to share the announcement. But my birthday is in 5 days. And so I'm gonna be 19. And so with that coming up, your girl is gonna be off on Friday, from Friday the 23rd, September 23rd to October the 2nd. So everything Hot Smiles, y'all, I won't be on. So I won't be on Thriving Thursday, Focus Friday, Yab, any of that. I won't be making lift codes. So yeah. Your girl was trying to do better with the self-care, and so I'm gonna be taking vacation. And yeah, so I mean, y'all still see me on the next Winning Wednesday. I don't know which date it is, but 20 sometime in October, the first week in October. So yeah. Yep. And I got some plans. So y'all gonna see pictures on the gram. So other than that, I'm gonna keep constantly checking in with y'all in the chat, but I'm gonna let my guests on to share the announcement. For anybody that's interested in the opportunity, open your ears wide because this is your opportunity. You might just be falling in your lap. You might be in the right place at the right time. But hey, James. Hey, DeMarcus. Okay. Ooh.
Can you all hear me?
I think you might be on mute.
Hi, everyone.
Oh wait, hold up. Okay, you talk again?
Now it's good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
How about?
My
Okay.
computer was on mute.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Ty. I'm a medical student at Johns Hopkins, and we're currently um, starting the "You Are Not Alone" workshop, and who is find to reduce the stress often face, especially during this. And we're doing this by
Miss Tisha, it's breaking up just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Thing I can do. How about now?
You can keep talking. If it's certain things that I don't hear, I'll just ask you again.
So we're in the process of starting called "You Are Not Alone" workshop, and what to do is essentially the stress that students during the pandemic. We're doing this by having the workshop and for students interested, we are for joining and participating in the workshop. And if you're able to go to the first one starting this Friday, you can possibly get a total attending all four. In the chat, and please message participating.
All right, y'all. So basically, Miss Tisha was saying if y'all weren't able to hear, we are having the "You Are Not Alone" workshop starting this Friday. Me, Dawn, Sane, and sorry, y'all, my mind be all over the place. Me, Dawn, Sane, and Charity are you facilitators for that project. So if you're interested, please make sure that y'all email Miss Tisha. I'm gonna put her email in the chat so you guys can reach out for the opportunity, but it is high school age students and surrounding the stress after the pandemic. Everybody make sure y'all show Miss Tisha love for coming on, sharing the opportunity with you all. Let's see if I can try to share the flyer really quickly. Hey Destiny. See if I can share it real quick so y'all can know what we talking about. But the workshops are paid. I would have to check back to see how much it is, but they are paid. And Dawn, if you know, never mind. They $50 per workshop. It's 4 workshops in total, so it'll be one starting this Friday from 5 to 6:30, and it'll be the same time for the next Friday. So September 23rd, the 30th, October the 7th, and October the 14th. You would be paid $200 if you attended all of the workshops. And yeah, y'all get to spend some more time with me, Dawn, Charity, and Sing. I don't know if this one is this isn't the updated one, but let me just see if I can share real quick. Yo, what? I'm on Chrome. It say I can't share my screen. If anybody interested or want to see the flyer, I can just send it to you, but it's not letting me share my screen, so I won't be able to share it. Anyways, other than that, we're about to get started with Winning Wednesday. My guest should be hopping on in like a few seconds. We're gonna go ahead and get started. You know, normally I would be leading the session, but I'm not really like leading. I'm gonna be co-leading, I guess you can say. And I don't know how to get rid of it. How do y'all get rid of oh wait, I think I might got it. I don't know. Like the glare and the glasses is not giving. Okay, we just gonna have to deal with it today. Or I just gotta keep my head right here. But yeah, other than that, while we waiting on our guest to hop back on, did anybody else want to say anything else about like, how y'all are doing? And DeMarcus, you should definitely sign up. All right, we got my special guest is on, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Right? And if I turn it off, my light not gonna be good. Jimmy.
Hey everyone, wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, hey everyone, my name is Jimmy if you don't know me. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about choosing your battles. So let's just hop right into it, right?
Yeah, we can go ahead and hop into it.
Okay, so the first question that I have for you all is to know, how do you guys go about choosing your battles?
And I'm gonna put the question in the chat, y'all.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start off. So for me, when I choose my own battles, I personally try to predict the outcomes and to see like, okay, is this outcome gonna be benefiting me or is it going to harm me? And that's how I basically choose my battles. So let me just give you guys an example. So
Jimmy,
basically, I have like bad teachers. Let me not say bad teachers, but I've had multiple bad teachers.
Jimmy.
And this one particular teacher, she just had a bad day, and I was just asking for help, and then she just like went off on me for some reason. And instead of me like arguing with her or getting into a heated argument with her, I just decided to calm down and then ask to go out, and then I just found another way to like go about the subject and finding other help from outside. That's one thing that I did about choosing my battles.
Jimmy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry. Real quick, I know people been saying your name in the chat and everything, but could you kind of give a quick intro?
Oh,
could you give a quick intro of who you are and like what you do? Hey yo. Anyway, can you give an intro of like who you are and what you do and stuff like that? Today, as y'all can hear, we're gonna be talking about choosing your battles, but we're gonna have Jimmy give an intro of herself before we, keep getting into it.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I just hopped on. I didn't hear anything. Okay, so my name is Jumoke, but I go by Jumi. I am a senior at Baltimore Polytechnic, and something important for you guys to know is my birthday is December 3rd, and I'm a nail tech. I'm a YouTuber, and what else? I mean, there's not really much. I mean,
no,
do you have
did
any
not
questions
just
for me that I can answer?
Not you just said it's not much, and she just said she a nail tech, she a YouTuber, and she go to Poly, and she on here like leading a whole session about choosing your battles. Like she said she wanted to be involved. We gave her the opportunity. She here, and y'all already seen that Jimmy on a mission. So I don't know. Miss Joni gonna come up with a nickname. You already know how it go, but definitely don't try to minimize the stuff that you do. But we gonna keep going. Does anybody have any other like questions? Oh my god, I'm dead. Don't like Jimmy is really my cousin. I'm the one with the blonde hair. I'm dead.
Oh.
Oh, what's your ad? You got an ad for your nail business?
Oh yeah. Is there a way that I can put it in the chat?
I'm gonna put it in the chat. What is it?
Okay, so my nail tech business is called The Nail Nuance.
All right. So it's TheNailNuance.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Make sure everybody follow Jimmy right now. Because y'all know when I come back home, I'm gonna need my nails done.
Her.
Yeah. And she said you said you're a senior, right?
Yeah, I'm a senior at Poly.
Yo, stop playing. Stop playing. But y'all got any questions for Jimmy before we get back into choosing your battles? I know everybody trying to book a nail appointment, but besides that.
Oh, and my YouTube channel is called Jumi O. It's just Jumi and then O.
Okay.
Okay.
If any questions pop up, I'm gonna go ahead and just, let you know, but you can keep continuing where you was at.
Okay. I kind of forgot where I was at. I know I was talking. I know I asked a question. My question was. My question was, how do you go about choosing your battles?
And I can go ahead and answer the question because you were answering the question, right? You just answered it.
Yeah, I already answered. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I don't know. I'm not a person that like confrontation anyway. I guess you can say when it comes to like choosing your battles, I normally think of like confrontation, like if you should say something or not, and stuff like that. If it's something that I really believe or I feel strongly about, I'll definitely say something. But it's like you try to see is like, is my actions worth it? Like sometimes it feel like you're gonna do something and it'll be pointless, but it's like at least you tried. So that's kind of where I am. Like if it's conversation with a person and it's like, a person really just not gonna change their ways, I might be like, all right, well, I'm gonna say something, but if it don't change after this, I'm not gonna keep pressing the issue. But like if it's something that's really important to me, like youth advocacy or something, like I'm gonna beat it in the head. Like I'm gonna keep saying it. So I think it's more so about like your values and like how your actions align with those values.
Definitely. I totally agree with you. Like I feel like when you know your values, you know your goals, you're able to see, okay, like is this like important enough? Is this like gonna help me? Like I said before, like is it gonna, like the way I used to look at it, it was like, is it gonna help me? Is it gonna benefit me, or is it really gonna harm me in a way? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm also a person that like is really geared towards like community and stuff. So even when I think about my actions, I don't think about just me. I think about like my community back in Baltimore. So like, excuse me, even when I'm down here like in Atlanta and stuff, like I'm constantly thinking about my actions and how they're going to impact people when I go home. Like you don't have that many representations of what Baltimore looks like down here in Atlanta. So like I try to just show out in the best way that I can because everybody doesn't have like a good amount of knowledge on Baltimore, so they only go based off like what they see in the media, about violence and stuff like that. But that's not all there is to it. So I try to represent myself in a way that's going to be positive for myself, but also for the community too. But that also goes to the values thing. It's just who I am.
Exactly. I actually have another question. Do you have anyone in the audience ever like gone through a place where they had to choose their own battles, and how did they go about it? Well, how did you go about it, basically? Well, I'm just gonna start off. I mean, I said it before, but I don't know if there's new people here. But like the only time where I had to like do that was when I don't like I'm kind of like you, kind of like I'm not really confronting people at all. Like I'm more of like a nice person. I go about my day, mind my business all the time. But when it's like the teachers, like when it comes to the teachers, and like you just get like, I don't know. Have you ever had a bad teacher before?
Girl, it's always a time where you're gonna have somebody that I've never really met anybody that loved all of their teachers. Like it's always things you're gonna want to change. Like right now, I have a professor that's really nice, but his confidence is kind of lacking and it shows up in like his teaching style and stuff. So I had talked to one of my professors, my old professors today, and she was like, he's a really nice colleague, he's receptive to feedback and stuff. And that's probably something I'm gonna pursue. It's choosing your battle. Like, do I say something or do I not say something? But mind you, I've been in school for like what 6 weeks, and so I've been like trying to push through and stuff and try to comprehend everything. But now it's like, in order for me to constantly stay engaged, I need a professor that's going to be confident and that's going to be structured and stuff. So what I'm doing now is like, when I come back after like my vacation, after fall break, I'm going to set up time to go to his office hours to talk to him about like maybe how I can help, because I facilitate stuff like Winning Wednesday and I've done other projects. So maybe I can help him in that way and he can help me with the subject that it is his for his class. So I don't know. I think it normally is going based off like what's important. Mayo said in the chat, I'm not too confrontational. It's hard for me to determine a proper style on how to handle those situations, to be honest. And I think too, it made me think about this conversation I had about like having a better relationship with vulnerability too. Because sometimes we don't have like the best concepts on certain terms. So like with being vulnerable, people normally see it as weak. With being confrontational is like you're being like angry or aggressive. I don't know. That's kind of how I view it. And so, like, as far as being confrontational or confronting something, I feel like maybe we just got to try to build a better relationship or a more positive relationship with it, because confrontation is also getting your voice heard and voicing your opinions. I'm taking these glasses off because the glass really distracted me. But anyway, so like where was I? My mind went blank.
You talking about how confrontational approaches. Yeah.
Right. So a better relationship. So just trying to realize that we actually get value when we talk to people and say like, you know, this is what's going on, this is what is bothering me, and I would like it to be this way. Like we don't have to be like anxious or nervous about speaking up for things that we believe in, even though it is kind of set up for us to believe that, if that makes sense.
Definitely. And I feel like that was really my problem. Like I wasn't like aggressive in a way, but I was always like scared for some reason. I can't really explain the reason why, but I just know that like coming to like a teacher or somebody that's older than me, I just always like get scared. Like, okay, like what if you say no and I don't want to hear a no? Like what am I gonna do after that? Like, you know?
Yeah, Jimmy, hold on. I'm trying to think. Earlier, I heard some real good advice from my professor, Dr. Nicola Beach. She said, she was telling us her story because tomorrow is her birthday and she turns 51. And she went to Spelman and she's been able to do a lot of great things. And so one thing she said that helped her in her journey is like, people already, like we already have a no against us for like us being Black and stuff. So why not go for that yes?
Exactly.
So like when, you know, the worst thing somebody can tell you is no. But like even sometimes when people tell you no, is like, other than that, you have other opportunities, like other doors that are waiting to open for you, or try another door. So, you know, trying different approaches or like doing trial and error is sometimes what we need to do too. And like realizing like we don't always have to be scared, or even if we are scared, like still doing it anyway. So even though you might be scared to confront that teacher or that older adult, why not do it? Like if you don't say anything, other people are probably feeling the same way that you're feeling. Like I learned that like sometimes we feel like we just like in these silos and it's just us that is feeling this way, but no, like other people are feeling that way. And sometimes like we can kind of have like this imposter syndrome where we talk ourselves out of, you know, even committing to the action of like speaking up for ourselves, because it's like, like, am I really supposed to be here? Or like, how do I know they're going to value what I'm saying? But what you're saying is valuable at the end of the day. And so you should say it.
Exactly. And I also feel like it's the way that you like, I feel like you said this before. I feel like it's the way that you like go about it, especially like the tone, like the words that you say. Like knowing your audience is very important to me, because like if I'm talking to like a friend, or if I'm talking to like an adult, you have to always like remember the tone that you're using. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say it, but
No,
like,
you're definitely making sense. Like, I don't know. Normally, people would say like it's code switching. I don't know. I don't really like the term code switching because it's like normally used in like professionalism or whatever. Like you have to change their voice, but it's more so like you said, adapting to your audience. So like when you're talking to your homegirl, you being a little playful with it. When you're talking to your
definitely.
adult, your mom, your dad, it's like, all right, you know, you my dad. I might play with you a little bit, but it's only to a certain extent. But it just also just depends on the relationship that you have with a person. Like it's certain adults like Miss Joni. I can call her Big Joni. Like I don't always have to call her Miss Joni. And like she still knows that I'm respecting her. So I think it goes to your relationship. And I kind of want to do like a deeper dive into like building those relationships with adults too, because I know you've been referencing a lot to um adults or like authority figures. Normally, that's why
Yes,
you get
'cause
scared because
girl.
they're authority or labeled as authority.
Yeah, because girl, like I don't like when it comes to adults, it's either miss like I never like I don't know, I feel like it's maybe it may like come to like the way that I was trained, but like I would never like say like big like the way that you call Miss Zoni, Big Zoni, like I don't ever feel like I would ever do that because I'm just like, okay, like hold on. Like if I call Miss Zoni Big Zoni, like what if like she all like, oh, wait, hold on, we not like this, we like this, like calm down. I was just like, oh girl, okay, okay. Like I feel like it's also about like overthinking things too. Like I feel like developing those relationships, it's just like to be open minded for other people and yourself.
Yeah, and so like I don't know. I think I would probably think the same thing a couple years ago. Like I wouldn't call Miss Joni Big Joni, but at the same time, it go back to that relationship piece. Like I've been around Hushmouth for like 2 or 3 years now. And now I'm on the admin team where I constantly am talking to Miss Joni. And I was talking to Miss Joni constantly before that too. But it's like it goes to like how that person is, their personality and stuff like that. Like normally down here, down south, I hear a lot of yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. That's not me. Like I'll say miss or mister, but I'm not yes sir, no sir. Yeah, I'm not. That's just not me. So it's not also how I was brought up. So respect looks different for everybody, and it's just based on their character. Like even in how Miss Joni talks, like you know she's still respecting you, but it's also showing her personality. And she changes it too, depending on who she's talking to. And just about having that adaptability based on your audience. Like everybody not the same. Everybody doesn't take things the same. Like some people are more sensitive or less sensitive. So yeah. We got some comments in the chat though. The market said I was raised thinking adults can't be wrong. What do you think about that?
Same, same. And like now it's just like so annoying because it's like some things that some adults feel, I feel like sometimes they be thinking in 2010 and it's 2022. Like things change, and like the fact that they always feel like, I don't know, I don't want to say that all adults feel like they're right, but I'm saying all adults, like some adults feel like they always right, and it's not that way. Like things change, things evolve, and I feel like that makes them, I mean, I don't want to like characterize them, but like some of them are really like closed-minded to things like of today. You know what I mean? And I feel
Yeah, I
like
definitely
that's
see what
like
you mean.
challenging for me. So I just like choose to be like, okay, like let me just like shut up before I get disrespectful.
Yeah. I feel like our generation is definitely more vocal about things that we want to see, how we want to see them, and they're not traditional. So like I know when my mom, she's in her early 40s or whatever. So like surrounding that time, it's certain things that they are closed-minded to, or like they're not as adaptable with, that like we have the power to like influence. I can't say we can necessarily change it because we're not them, but like we
Yeah.
can influence them to be a little bit more open-minded, because ultimately being closed-minded isn't really helping anything. Like if you always think the same, like you're gonna stay in that same place, if that makes sense. So like they have a fixed mindset versus us having more of a growth mindset of how
Yeah.
we see things, or how we want things to be in the world. And it's still like keeping up with them same values, like respect and stuff like that, but things are changing. So we're not in 2010, like you said, we're in 2022. So figuring out how we can adapt to the changing times and still stay true to ourselves. Like we understand they have their values, but we have values and things that are important as well. And we also have to like, I hate that the thing where we're like, it's kind of like a hierarchy. Like it's like
Yes.
adults and then it's like children, like stay in a child's place or whatever. And like we're leaders, and that's what Heart Smiles like breeds, or and still pulls out of us, because we already got it in us. But it's like in society, it's always like this hierarchy that like adults are like above children or youth or whatever the case may be. And like it's not true. Like everybody has values or things to bring to the table, and sometimes that might mean that the adult is wrong, and that it's hard for them to accept that. And it's also like a pride thing too. Like they don't want to, they trying to save face too, so they don't like hearing that they wrong.
Definitely. Like that's one thing like I like about my mom, because like when I've grown up, like she's more open to like my opinions and my views on things. So it's just like, okay, like she always tells me like if I'm doing anything wrong, like just let me know. Let me like if I'm doing any like just let me know if I'm doing anything wrong. That's one thing I like about her, because just like things are different, and you, you aren't really, sometimes you're not really in the space to like know that more than like your kids, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like, and right now with knowledge and stuff, like all the different things that's going on around us right now, like what TikTok, a lot of people go to TikTok University for stuff, and like we able to tell them about stuff that they be like confused about. Like even with technology, like my mom does starting Thursday, but every time it comes with like the technology or creating her slides or whatever,
Oh
it's like
yeah.
she's hitting me up, calling me, like I don't know, like how I do this, like how I share my screen, or how I do this, how I make the screen bigger. Like it's a lot, but you also have to be open to feedback or receptive to feedback. Another thing I had learned in class today, well, no, it wasn't class. It was this panel that I was at. They were saying that dang, what is it? Hold on, y'all. I'm about to grab it because it's on. I got a note sheet. Hold up. Yo, I'll be writing on the notes. Anyway, so let me see what it was. The lady said feedback is a gift. Try to understand the messenger and how you can internalize it. And when people are telling you feedback, that means that they trust you in that relationship to give you that feedback. So that really resonated with me, because sometimes you don't want to hear it, especially if it's coming from the wrong messenger. And so even if it is coming from the wrong messenger, try to see if it's something that you should still try to pay attention to, because no matter who it is, it still might be value in that message. And that's
And I
what
also feel
you
like,
have to
again, like being open minded, like you just can't, even if it's not something that you want to hear, you should still hear it. You know what I mean? Like still hear it and still take it into consideration. If it doesn't resonate with you, then you can always throw it out. But still like go through that path of like seeing it, and then like okay, like acknowledging it and seeing how you could work with it, and if you can work with it.
definitely. I'm gonna read some more of these comments. Antonio said adults aren't always right, but once you get to a certain place with them, you may not like, but you can at least respect them. Yes.
Definitely.
Destiny said, oh, hey, Bless. Destiny said they feel like they know more than us and what they know sticks. Yeah, but I feel like I still kind of feel the same way. Like, we can gain value from them because they've been here longer, but they can gain value from us because we learn different, I guess.
Exactly. Like
So
we're
they
in
got to
the new
realize that.
world.
Jada said, I was raised with sir and ma'am. I was also raised to believe that expressing your emotions was disrespectful or seen as talking back. That's definitely true. And that what is it? What goes on in this house stays in this house. So I don't know, like my mom, she said this before on the live, but like I always was like snappy or talking back or whatever, but like really I feel like that I was just vocal. Like I always share how I felt, and I mean sometimes it probably wasn't appropriate because of the time. Because I know it's a time and place for everything. But like I always talked back because I wanted my voice or my opinion heard. So you gonna hear what I gotta say.
Definitely.
You gonna hear what I gotta say. And so I think it definitely just goes back to their culture. Like they try to raise their kids like how they were raised. Like my mom was raised like that. So what goes on in this house stays in his house, and no talking back or whatever. And it's like if you're saying something wrong, like why wouldn't I want to say something? Like, why am I just supposed to sit here? Like, if I know something wrong, I'm just supposed to sit there like boo boo the fool and like just take that? No,
Not
I'm not
the
doing
fool.
that. No, I'm not doing that. So, I mean, talking back, I feel like it's more so like we gotta change the language around a lot of different things. Like, instead of it being talking back or emotions being disrespectful or being expressive, it's being disrespectful. Maybe it is instead adults making room for us to share what we feel about certain things that's going on.
I was
And I
the
think a
same
lot of
way.
it
Oh, sorry.
oh go ahead.
I was the same way. Like I was always not talking. Well, was talking. I'm not gonna lie. I was talking back, but when like I was like corrected, like you don't talk back. They came to me saying that the way that I spoke back to them was disrespectful and not talking back. Maybe it's like that for everyone, or it's just me. But from ever since then, I like when I got something to say, you're gonna hear what I gotta say. But if you don't want me to interrupt you, I'm gonna raise my hand, but you're gonna hear what I gotta say. For real. I think somebody else said something in the chat.
Yeah, Mayel said, I feel like sometimes the vocalization can be good as long as it's used in a docile way. I think I seen another thing from Mayel. Jada says still receive it. Jada, I was definitely think about it, but I didn't want to say you're saying wrong. But she said eat the meat and spit out the bones. So everything is valuable for you. Take it in. The rest of the stuff that's not valuable, throw it out. Mayel said, my mom always tells me I can be expressive as long as it's in a respectful way. I feel like sometimes too, we need Miss Jewel and Coach Jasmine to come back, y'all, because we need some more conversations with them. But like sitting here and defining what respect look like. Y'all know how we was talking about Jimmy, I don't think you was here for this, but basically we had these workshops about like healing and stuff. And so we would like define what relationships look like or what relationships even are, defining what love looks like, and stuff like that. So when it comes to respect, it's like I feel like our concept of respect is different from adults in their, their mind frame. Like for us, respect is, we not gonna curse at you. We gonna keep a good tone. Sometimes they go up when you real passionate, but as long as it's not intentionally like you trying to like, I don't know, wild out. And it's different things, but like with them, it's like if I say something, that's it, that's final. And we shouldn't be like that, but just sitting and defining it. We want to need Miss Jewel and Coach Jasmine to come back for real.
Yes, please. Because I'm gonna need that.
Dawn said, yo, when it comes to these topics, I feel so bad because I feel like I'm bashing my mom. How do y'all deal with that?
Lottie, I feel the same way sometimes, but like sometimes it's not that way. Like when I speak about my mom, I always make sure to like, I don't know how to say it, like I would say like always bringing it back to present and the way that you feel about it. Like it's not like you're bashing her; you're just stating your feelings. So
Yeah.
I don't like now. I before I used to feel like I was bashing her, but now it's just like it's just my feelings. Like I'm not bashing you because you're still a good mom, but I'm just saying how I feel about this certain like situation. Am I on the same page?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean, and I'm gonna try to see if I can clean it up. I think I got better a good words for it, but everybody kind of have like their areas of growth, and so when you're acknowledging something that affected you, I don't think it's necessarily bashing you. It's just acknowledging what you went through and how it made you feel. So like sometimes I even think that, and it'd be a little bit difficult for me now too, especially because now, like before when I used to talk about my mom and we used to be on here, it's like y'all never had to see her. But now it's like every week that y'all got Thriving Thursday, it's like I don't want what I say to affect y'all, like how y'all view her. Because she is still a good person and I'm not bashing her. It's more so I'm just acknowledging how certain situations make me feel. So I guess we kind of all going through it in a way. But like I feel like we just got to start trying to have a better relationships with us expressing our feelings and just being comfortable in doing it. Like Her Smiles has always been about, having a safe space and, comfortability and family. And so we all in this together. So if it's anything that ever like make y'all feel away or y'all think maybe we need to chill out on a certain part of the topic or anything or reroute and stuff like that, make sure y'all just say it in the chat and we'll work through it. Yeah, we got some more comments here. All right. Antonio said, you got to, because it's like, okay, I'm sitting here listening to everything you had to say, but as soon as I try and say how I feel or my opinion, they speak over it as if it's a futile thought. And it's like, that's not respectful. Like, it's like you say you want respect and then you disrespect me. And so it's like, that's why I say it's like a hierarchy because it's not like equal treatment on both sides. It's like if I'm sitting here and hearing you out and I'm respecting you, letting you talk, not interrupting you and stuff like that. When I talk, I feel like you should listen too. And so it's more so about sitting and trying to have conversations about how we define authority, like I see in the chat, how we define how we look at parenting styles, because it's different parenting styles. Like I know in psychology, not this year, but in my AP Psych class, I learned about like the different parenting styles. And so figuring out some of those things and having your parents realize certain things that they should change or you would like them to work on, because we don't want to frame things in a way that is going to put them on defense. We want to make it where it's a thing that we're, trying to make them feel supportive. But yeah, like earlier, I was in my intro to psych class and we were talking about road rage. Why were we talking about road rage?
Wait, what's road rage?
Road rage, like when yeah. So we were talking about road rage earlier, and she was talking about like how people who had road rage have had something happen to them when they were in a different time period, and like basically like they felt helpless in that situation, and so they're having lack of self-control, and it shows up as anger, like with road rage and stuff. And so I was like, my dad has really bad road rage. That's what I was thinking as I was listening to her talk and stuff. And I'm like how do I even like approach that? Like what do I even say to him? Because I also was talking about how the fact he's stubborn. Like he don't like hearing other people's opinions if he feel really, really strongly about stuff. And so she was like, well, when a person is like elevated or they're at that point, like let them vent or talk to you or say whatever and tell them you understand and stuff like that. But then after, when they're calm or they back to their regular state of mind, say, like I'm concerned. I notice you get angry a lot. Like, is it something you ever realize or recognize like why that is? And trying to have a conversation about that without pointing to the actual fact that it was because of this specific instance. Because if you point to the specific instance, it's like, okay, now I'm going to be on defense mode because, like, what do you mean? Like, I get angry. And so trying to make it in a way that sounds, well, not just sounds, but is supportive of like actually having that person grow instead of just pointing that you did something wrong.
I never look at it that way. Like my dad has road rage too, but I just thought it was always like because of trying to get somewhere and somebody's in your way or this person just did the wrong thing. But I never like really thought of it like that. And I feel like it's really important to like kind of like calm them down when they're like the word is right there. Like when they're back to not their senses, but like their senses basically. Like honestly, like I feel like it's a good way because honestly, now that I'm looking at it, it may be something else that could like add to certain things. Like how like something small could happen and then just like an outburst and everybody's like thinking like, okay, like wow, like what caused this? Like, oh, let me make an example. So like maybe like let's say for instance like maybe somebody just puts your paper on the floor and then like this person is doing an outburst and you're just like, oh wow, like what's going on? It could really be something else that's going on rather than just them having an encounter or something that they don't like,
Yeah, it's I feel like you time on like, and that's why these things are so important to know and to take on. But you have to be empathetic. Like, you never know what somebody is going through, and sometimes it shows in a way that isn't like socially acceptable, but still be there to like support a person when they're going through something, even if you might not know why. Like maybe sitting there having a conversation with them. Like one mentee I had was talking about like how somebody like wowed out on her in school because of like, well, how you be in school and like everybody is like the same level. And so she was sitting up and looking at the teacher, and mind you, like it's a person behind her. And so the girl behind her, was saying she couldn't see. So she put her head down for a while, but she said after that, she said she couldn't put her head down anymore. And so the girl like wowed out on her. And so like I said, she was saying she was having a bad day because of that. And I'm like, well, for one, I want you to understand that that has nothing to do with you. Like what you did has nothing to do with how she responded to that, because we can see and look at that like, this is really small, but it's like what happened right there triggered something in her mind that maybe she was having a bad day, or maybe she doesn't have like the best household or like energy around her when she goes home. And so when she comes out at school, maybe this is her way of expressing her emotions that she has bottled up. And so I don't know, I feel like a lot of times we just have to look at it from the standpoint as if we're in somebody's shoes for us to realize that what seems small is not always so small. And so, and always realizing that is a reason why. But it's also, in addition to empathy, healing centered engagement, not focusing on the roots of the issue, but not the roots of the issue, the symptoms of the issue, but focusing on the root of the issue. Like, so what's actually going on that even created this, or how you're responding to it. And so that made me think about it earlier when we were talking about it in class.
Yeah, and I also feel like it ties into like battles. Like when you have to have empathy and like have an open mind, because you never know what could be going on with that other person. Like say like that person, just because she wowed out on her, like let's just say like your friend or that person fought her, like it's just because like you was just trying to like get up. Like you have to like be empathetic and try to like, I mean, I'm not trying to say like you should just always like try to put your own feelings aside, but I feel like you should also keep in mind like what somebody else is like what another person is going through.
Yeah, because people don't know what they don't know. So like maybe that's the only way she knows how to react or knows how to respond. Like y'all see so many different things go on in the city right now as far as violence, and they probably could have been stopped with a conversation, or if people use
Honestly,
healthier ways of coping with their emotions instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna go pick up this gun and I'm gonna shoot this person, or I'm gonna go ahead and fight this person. So we sat and really just been like, maybe this could be a teaching moment or a lesson. Maybe this is a way I can sit here and lead this person to, a better path. Maybe things will look a little bit different, but like people don't know what they don't know. And so that's why like Heart Smiles is so important. So us facilitating in the schools, us doing our things on these projects for people to really see like our mission, so we can spread out to different schools and people could learn about, these different skills that could save lives. Like it's people that's dying every day or getting killed every day in the city. And like we're trying to prevent that. And so figuring out how we can be more proactive, like it's easy to take things personal. Like it's just easy to take things personal. But like if y'all read the 4 agreements, don't take things personal. That's one of the 4 agreements. And so like what I was saying before, like that had nothing to do with her. But she took it personally because she like, oh, maybe I did something wrong. But she didn't do anything wrong. She was just doing things as how she do them, and she reacted how she reacted because whatever is going on with her. And so trying to look at things in a way where we can grow and we can value people's thoughts even when it our emotions are triggered in a bad way.
definitely. Like it's also about like probably like being the bigger person. When I say being the bigger person, I want to say it in like not in a tense way, like you always have to be the bigger person. Like yes, you're a leader, you're supposed to be the bigger person, but it's just like some things, because you never know. You really don't ever know. So it's better to be the bigger person. Put like not taking, like you said, like don't take it personal, and then just like pushing it aside or just like being okay with it.
Yeah, because you can still make a person aware that what they're doing isn't really the best thing. And also, not just pointing out a problem because that's where people get defensive, but saying, this not really the right thing. This what you should do instead. When a person provides you with a solution to a problem too and just doesn't pose problems, it makes it a little bit better for people to receive. But I know we got a couple more comments, and I know we probably gotta get into the jewel because why did our time just wind down?
Yeah, like it was just 6:30.
DeMarcus said, adults are very vulnerable in their authority. I feel like that's a real good comment though, because like I don't know. I feel like it's like almost as if they're trying to protect that sense of authority. Sometimes, like if
Yes,
a person expresses how they feel, they think maybe that's changing the dynamic of your relationship. So normally, like with parents, it's like I tell you to do this, or these are my rules, follow them. So like when you saying how you feel, it's like, oh no, now you're trying to tell me what to do. It don't work like that. And so I definitely get what you're saying about adults being vulnerable in authority. Dawn said, yo, Miss Jewel and Coach Jasmine taught me so much. I hope they come back for year round.
yes,
We
I
might
need
have them
that.
come back. We might have them come back. I think they was talking about bashing. Okay. Mayel said, I don't want this to be triggering anyone, but I think hitting kids to get them to listen is horrible. Like, why are you that mad? You got to put your hands on your kid to make them listen. And y'all, that's a historical trauma thing. Like, I know I be getting tired of hearing about this too, but like back to like when we were enslaved, like hundreds of years ago, it's just something that's just been passed down. That's what I feel like. It's just a historical trauma thing. It's something that happened to them, and it just get passed down generation to generation. Their mother beat them or hit them, and then that person decided to hit their kids. And so I feel like it ties into what a person has been through. And I'm not saying it is right. I think it's just something that is instilled based off what you see, especially in a Black culture. Like you always see it. So when you're going against the norm, it's a little bit difficult because it's like you have, I guess they'll have, like, our parents and stuff will have other parent friends and stuff. It's like, oh, you don't hit your kids, like, I'm gonna hit mine. And so it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like that dynamic where, like, people are also trying to do things that are socially acceptable, especially within our culture. Like, even especially like we're raising kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I definitely feel like it's kind of like wrong in a way, because when you keep hitting your kids, like, they're just gonna get used to it and they're not gonna care anymore. It's just gonna be like a simple beating, and they're just gonna do what they want. It's not a way of like training them. And I feel like I feel like they see it as a way of training, but usually it gets out of that.
Miss Joni, she all like we got the fur tour of us. Yeah, like even down sitting and thinking about like the switch, like when they say go outside, like y'all don't I don't think our parents was as knowledgeable on trauma, but like that's traumatizing. Like go outside, pick up this switch so I can come in here and I beat you. Like I feel like I'm not trying to put my kids through trauma. Like they already going through trauma. Like you already Black. You already probably gonna go through what? Be in the city, Baltimore City public schools not giving you the best education. That's traumatizing right there. We got trauma that we going through in the community, like people dying, the murder rate is high. Like it's so many different things that's going on that's traumatic. It's like, why would I want to be the person that's going to add to that trauma? And so I don't know. Sometimes parents look at it like I'm preparing you for the real world, but at the same time, it's like, you're not really preparing me, because it's like even down to like the hitting or the beating or whatever. It's like I know one thing is like it creates a fear within you. Like it's like if I say this, are you gonna beat me? Like if I express my emotions, are you gonna beat me?
Yes.
And so the things that are healthy are kind of being prevented because of what you're doing and the actions that you're having. Like you can, I don't know, they say like talking don't help, but I feel like it's sometimes the way that they talk. Like our parents always aren't the best communicators or the most effective communicators. They just like some of the things that are unsaid, they already expect you to know. And it's like I just got here. Like you need to teach me.
For real, like I can't read your mind.
I don't know, y'all, but this conversation is so good. But we gotta get into Jules. If anybody got like any like last thoughts or things that y'all pulled from this conversation, make sure y'all drop in the chat. If y'all got your own Jewel like Coach did last week, drop your jewels in the chat too. And if we got time, I'll read over them. But Jimmy, you got a jewel for us?
Well, my jewel for today is just being empathetic, being open-minded, and trying to like measure your tone. And I feel like I forgot the quote that you said. I feel like it was about you took out a notebook. I forgot what you said, but
hey, yo, I can read over it again when you done.
Yeah, that's my jewel. You can read it.
All right, so feedback is a gift. Try to understand the messenger and how you can internalize the message. Trust exists within a relationship when the person decides to give you feedback.
Yes, y'all, don't forget that, because that's a jewel.
Today's jewel is just step out there. So like Jimmy hit me up about this session like a week or two ago. And so, normally we don't really have other people like lead a session. We normally have people hop on, we lead a session and stuff like that. But Jimmy came on, she led the session, and like she killed it. So make sure y'all put some comments in the chat, showing Jimmy some love for hopping on. Y'all know I don't like being on here lonely anyway, but she did what she had to do. So if anybody else is just wondering if they should take their chance and come on and share their voice, even if it's not even in a Winning Wednesday or Thriving Thursday platform, making sure that y'all like showing up in other places. So you showing up in school, or you showing up at work, or whatever it is, like just put yourself out there and do what you need to do. This is your sign. Like literally, it's literally right here. And so yeah, let me see if I can drop your nail page one more time, and then we're gonna get off here.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a ball. This conversation was lit. I wish we didn't have an hour. Like, I don't even know how time just went by.
Yo, for real. Like, we definitely went over this really fast. We probably gonna have you hop on again whenever you're available next. Maybe you can hop on with Coach next time.
Definitely.
See how they go. But yeah, I love y'all. I hope that y'all have a good night. And I see y'all again in 2 weeks. I'm going on vacation on Friday till October the 2nd. So
yes, girl, you gotta turn up.
Yeah, y'all. I love y'all. Have a good night. Bye.